Okay? All have our trade. Why are you so spasmodic? Watch that. Absolutely. Look behind you.
Excuse me.
Why should I?
Excuse me. No, not this guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. Oh, give me.
See how many people are constraining you? Look at me.
No
Total control over my mind and body. Total control over your mind and body.
Sir, you have no shame. No shame. You have no shame treating these people that way.
This guy has threatened my family.
Unbelievable.
Threatened my children. Threatened my children. My children, you sick. My children. Don't touch me. Do not.
When I met with Prime Minister Starmer at Downing Street yesterday, I told him that I thought his national address a few hours earlier was well done. He noted, of course, that the UK and the US are close allies and that our strong, constructive partnership all these years has been built on mutual respect and focused on results. I thought that was exactly the right message and the right tone. And because of that, we've always been able to work through our differences calmly as friends. And we will continue to do that. I want to assure you this morning that that is still the case. I spoke to President Trump at length yesterday, and I told him that I really felt that my mission here, even though we planned this back in the fall, we didn't know how the events would develop over the last few days. But I told the President that I felt that my mission here today was to encourage our friends and help to calm the waters, so to speak, and I hope to do so. As the Prime Minister said yesterday, let us look to agreement, continue our dialogue, and find a resolution, just as we always have in the past. And in that process, I am confident that we can and will maintain and strengthen our special relationship between these two nations, send a message of unity and resolve to our allies around the world, and remind our adversaries and the terrorists and tyrants everywhere that our nations that are dedicated to freedom and justice and order and human dignity are stronger and more resolved now.
We have a January 30 deadline to fund the remainder of the federal government, and we're on track to do that.
Taxpayer dollars are being used by the Department of Homeland Security and ICE to unleash extremism on the streets of America.
We are looking at oversight, not abolishing ICE, not defunding ICE.
ICE and the Department of Homeland Security are doing a very novel thing. They are following federal immigration law.
Secretary Rollins, real quick, you got some criticism for a comment that you made on News Nation, actually, about a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, and a tortilla, and one other item being around $3. Do you regret those remarks? Do you think you were a little bit flip about the price of groceries?
No, well, I regret that I didn't make it sound like a more robust plate, because that is what I meant to make it sound like, a really big piece of chicken and when I said a piece of broccoli, I meant like a big, I'm a mom of 4 and I cook broccoli a lot. For me, that's a big head of broccoli, a baked potato, etc., a couple pieces of bread. I just came from a meeting where over at USDA right before I got back here to the White House, where every week I'll check on food prices. And about 2 weeks ago, I asked our economists over at USDA, said, I really want y'all to dig in. The food on this now upside down triangle, what exactly, the food on the triangle, if you were to put that together and you were to put a day's worth of meals together, whether it's pork or salmon, I'm kind of thinking of the food triangle, a glass of whole milk, whole grain bread, fruits and vegetables, rice and beans, etc. I said, come back to me and let me know. And I don't want any funny business with numbers. Like, I really want to know what that looks like, because we had run almost 1,000 simulations, and between $3 and $4 is a fair number if you can have access to that food. So just about an hour ago, I saw new numbers that were run. A full day, meaning 3 full square meals and a snack, is about $15.64. $15.64. That's all 3 meals and a snack. So we'll be talking more about that in the coming days and weeks. Part of me sort of cringed at the criticism that I got, because it wasn't what I meant. And I grew up with a single mom in a really small town, and certainly never meant to be flippant. But I also think that the left, or those that were attacking me, perhaps know that this is an issue that 90% of Americans agree on. It is one that no one's really done anything about until this administration, and it is one where we will fundamentally, I believe, change the trajectory of our country by changing the health of our country. I'm really proud of that. So thank you, though, for letting me explain that.
I'm for it. I mean, I think Judge Boasberg is one who's been mentioned, and these are some egregious abuses. I mean, as you know, my background's constitutional law. I used to lead the Constitution Subcommittee in the House Judiciary Committee. Impeachment, as we have discussed altogether many, many times, is an extreme measure, but extreme times call for extreme measures. And I think some of these judges have gotten so far outside the bounds of where they're supposed to operate, it would not be, in my view, a bad thing for Congress to lay down the law, so to speak, and to to make an example of some of these egregious abuses. So we'll see where it goes.
Listen, I support our president. He's one of the best negotiators that we've had. Look at, he's eliminated and ended over 8 wars, right? He is trying to put the safety and security of Americans first. So I think what you see with President Trump is all options are on the table. What he's doing, or more importantly, what he's not doing is saying, this is off the table, that is off the table. I think the message that he's trying to send is all options are on the table to make sure that America is safe and secure.
You know, right now, a lot of people don't trust the United States because of this president. And right now, because of tariff policies, because of the way he has treated our allies like Denmark and others, you know, I think people feel like the U.S. is no longer a surefire partner that they can work with anymore. And so I want to see a predictable economy. I want to see an economy that works for everyone. And this president right now is doing things abroad that are raising costs back home. And so that's going to hurt every single American unless he changes his policies.
The United States of America is playing hardball with countries that were more than happy to take advantage of the United States of America. Easy examples, go back to the 45 administration, right, when the president was saying, hey, we're providing all our time, troops, treasure for your security, and you're getting all of your energy from Russia, who we're supposed to be securing you from. That's taking advantage of us. They were playing hardball against us, trying to have their cake and eat it too, and the United States of America is playing hardball.
Congressman, can we talk to you really quickly about the hearing tomorrow? What are you hoping to hear? What's the significance?
I think the main takeaway would be Jack Smith's no different than Fonnie Willis, Alvin Bragg, Bob Mueller, impeachment one. It's all part of this effort to get after President Trump. Thank goodness the American people saw through it. And of course, we've elected President Trump twice. But I think it'll just show that Jack Smith was sort of the culmination of this 10-year, this decade-long attack on the president. It just didn't fly, and he was willing to do things. I mean, you saw that he was paying confidential human source. What do you got to pay a source $20,000 for when you can subpoena anybody and everybody? He spent $35 million and, of course, got nothing. And then, not to mention, he's willing to go get the phone records of multiple members of Congress in his effort to find some way to go after President Trump. So I think that'll all come out tomorrow, and that's why we always intended to have him. It's sort of what we do. We had Mueller, we had her, we had Durham all come in front of us after there. The only thing we did different here, and this is because Jack Smith was literally trying to put the president in prison with this ridiculous investigation, is we deposed him first, along with Wyndham and Brad and Cooney, some of his key deputies, and we got others we're going to depose as well.
Why is it that no one should be informed, including the judges? As you went in to spy on these people, did you mention that you were spying on, seeking records so you could find out about when conversations occurred between the U.S. Speaker of the House and the President? Did you inform the judge, or did you hold that back?
My office didn't spy on anyone.
Wait a second. The question I asked you, Mr. Smith, was pretty straightforward. Did you withhold that information from an Article III judge in the process of taking the records of the Speaker of the House?
We complied with Department.
Did you hold back
Mr. Chairman,
would
you please instruct the gentleman to allow the witness to answer the question?
It's not your time. I'd like my time back.
Mr. Chairman, you have repeatedly done that in the past. The witness has the right to answer the question.
And there'll be due time to answer the question. Would you please put my time back and let me finish this? Mr. Smith, I asked you a question, and you were not responsive to it, and I want you to be responsive to it. Did you, whether you think it was legal or not, whether you think it was right or not, did you withhold the name of Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, when you were seeking records on Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, or Jim Jordan, the chairman of this committee?
The time of the gentleman is...
No, please give me back the time that was taken away.
Time has expired, but we're going to let the witness answer your question because it's an important question. The witness can respond.
We did not provide that information to the judge when we requested a nondisclosure order, consistent with the law and consistent with Department
Mr. Chairman, the amazing thing here today is that we have an admission that an Article
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman's time has expired by now 34 seconds.
It gets more than 5 minutes.
How many times are you going to interrupt me?
The time belongs to the gentleman from California, but it has expired.
I will be brief in my address to the chairman. We have the evidence that an Article I representative on behalf of the president withheld that Article 3.
Mr. Chairman, I wish we granted the same leniency.
And with that, I yield back in disgust of this witness.